Welcome into a For What It's Worth episode 17. We have the gang back together. We have Tyrone, Thornton, we have Erik, Kellgren. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. I actually feel really good. Went
Really
outside,
good.
ran today. Some really good running weather when it's like, not too hot, not too cold.
Yep.
Perfect time to get you a little running.
I need to get more runs in. Actually, I've been slacking in that department. Erik, how you been?
I've been good, living life, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Chilling. Just chill.
Just chill. There you go. Any has work been keeping you busy or at all or anything?
No.
No. Okay, that's good. That's good. You don't want too much work. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want too much work on your plate there, because they definitely give us enough when we're there. Well, we are recording this late at night, and we all are busy people with work the next day, so we're just gonna hop right into this episode, and we are gonna do some, I would say maybe rankings or just favorites that we have seen so far as we are about to enter Week 7. Just wrapped up Week 6 with the Monday night game, Jets and Bills. Just before we jump in, just you guys have any overall thoughts from that game?
That was the most penalized. That was a crazy game. So many flags going on. Oh my goodness. That Hail Mary to Lazar was ridiculous.
I don't know how Rodgers does it.
He plays. I don't know. Just his old man magic at this point. He just has it in him.
He just has it. Yeah, sold his soul for some old man magic or something. Who knows what he was doing on those retreats when he was away? But yeah, I gotta say, while it was another loss for the Jets, at least the offense looked a little better. So it seems like maybe taking the play calling from Hackett, putting it elsewhere. Let's see if that, it was first game with that, so there's going to be some bumps and whatnot in the road. So we'll see if they can smooth that out. Erik, anything from Monday night game that caught your attention or anything you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, same shit. That was like the most penal. I think they showed that it was like this. It was tied with the most penalized game this season so far, and then there was more flags after that. So
yeah, it just made
the one that it tied was probably the Cowboys Giants game.
Yeah, I was gonna say made for a long game. But yeah, just they were giving Rodgers some of that Aaron Rodgers treatment, or at least that future Hall of Famer treatment.
This Kellgren even sacked you.
What happened to the game I loved, man?
For real now. Come on now.
Body weight? Come on, man. There's going to be body weight. He's bringing him to the ground.
Come on now. What was he supposed to do?
What was he supposed to do? Yeah, exactly. Tuck him into bed, read him a bedtime story. No, that's not what we're here to do. Speaking of not being what we're not here to do, not necessarily here to talk about that game. Like I said, we're just going to give some rankings and some favorites, or start actually with who we think is the top team in the AFC and who we think is the top team in the NFC. Boys, where do you want to start? You want to start AFC or you want to start NFC?
Let's start NFC.
Let's start NFC. All right. Here's mine, and I won't go into details. I'll just say mine, and then we'll just go down the line, and then we'll see if we all agree or if we're all up for a debate here. I'll go first. If you would have asked me yesterday, I probably would have told you the Detroit Lions. I'm not saying that still can't be a good answer. I'd be open to hear that argument. But after Hutchinson went down, that he accounted for half the sacks there for that defense. That's a big loss there. So I'm going to turn my attention, just entering Week 7, not looking too far down yet. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC as my favorite. Like I said, I'd hear the Lions. I'd also hear the 49ers. But right now, I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. Let's just go down the line. Tyrone, who do you think is the best team so far in the NFC?
I'm thinking the same thing as you. I was going to go with the Lions, but I think Hutchinson getting hurt, that means so much.
It does.
So I'm going to have to go with another team in the NFC North. It's not the Vikings. I'll have to go with the Packers. I feel like when Jordan Love is clicking at 100% with those receivers, their pass attack it looks almost unstoppable. Like, he has so many weapons, and he looks so good when he's 100% flowing and doing the right stuff.
Yeah, I'd agree there. That's another team that you can make an argument for. One reason I didn't have them so high is because I think they're really just now starting to find that groove. If I would have saw it a little earlier, maybe would have. I know Jordan Love was battling something, but just if I would have saw that team maybe pick up a little faster earlier, could have been higher. Erik, who do you think in the NFC is your favorite right now, or just best team right now?
I don't know how you don't say the Vikings, but I I do like the Packers as well because, I mean, Jordan Love, even when Malik Willis was in there, he was handling business still. But
Got 2 dubs.
Yeah, he did. He did. Like I said, I could argue the Packers too. I'm kind of surprised no one said the 49ers. I know they're a little rocky right now. I guess we are going favorites right now, so that makes sense. But they have a lot of injuries. But that could be a team I guess we'll get to later on when we talk maybe potential sleepers. But yeah, I guess if we're going right now, I just, like Erik said, I don't know how you don't go with the Vikings. Sam Darnold's playing pretty good. I think maybe it's changed at this very moment, but he was in MVP voting. I'm not saying he's MVP caliber, but he was in the MVP voting. Second in touchdown passes entering week 6. That's probably changed just a little bit, but he was second there. Third in air yards and per completion, and 10 in quarterback rating so far. So he's playing good. 5th head coach and 6th offensive coordinator for Sam Darnold in his career. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
isn't that insane?
Hey, he knows what to do now. He's a veteran now. He's had all these different guys. He probably knows what he likes and what he doesn't at this point.
Yeah.
But
well, like I said too. Oh, I was just gonna say this just shows that you give something that he likes or don't give up so easy on a quarterback. Stuff can still play out for him. Go ahead, Tyrone.
Systems make everything. You know, where you work and who you work with is probably about 70% of your job. If you go work with a place that has terrible boss and terrible employees, you're gonna suck. But if you work with people that are amazing and support you, you know, you could end up being the president. I don't know.
No, for real. Support could go long ways. And he's feeling that. Erik, you can hop back in here if you want here. But last thing I'll say about this Vikings team is that their defense is also just fantastic. One of the top defenses, if not the top defense in the NFL right now. They've only trailed for 3 minutes and 26 seconds of game clock through their first games. And that's the best since the greatest show on turf, the 1984 Dolphins, 2009 Saints, and 2023 49ers. All those teams made the Super Bowl. 2 of those teams won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So
I mean, I wrote down on my notes here. I put the
Let's
Vikings, and then I said next to it, I said they got to prove it every week. They're just a team. They just have to prove it every single week.
Yeah.
Probably until
you're just kind of like waiting for regression at this point. Or I am at least.
I need to see them lose one, then bounce back and play good again. I need to see them have that bad game, then play good again. Because at this, I don't know. They're not going to go undefeated. If they do, I would definitely be like, y'all got it. You guys, you know, I'm a believer now.
But I will say, if we look at this Vikings team, they defeat the Giants, who not good, but they might be a little better than we thought. All right, no world beaters, and they beat the 49ers. I get it, 49ers here and there, kind of, but solid team. Texans, Packers,
good team.
Jets. We'll see how they do against the Lions here upcoming. But that's what I'm saying. They've beaten good teams. Yeah, I'm expecting Sam Darnold to maybe regress a little throughout the season, a tad, but they're going to make playoffs, and I think they might be able to win a game in there, maybe 2. This team could be dangerous. I just think right now, they're one of the only 2 undefeated teams left, so that has to say something. But I do get your point there with Jordan Love and the Packers, because once he's flowing and those receivers are flowing, that offense it's beautiful to watch.
1,000%.
All right, let's move to the AFC. This one, I feel like we might all say the same thing, but let's go down the line. I'll start again. I got to go Baltimore Ravens. They're the best team in the AFC right now. Tyrone?
1,000%. I'll say the same thing. Everything's clicking. Lamar's passing the ball well. Derrick Henry is an anomaly. He's doing things that I ain't never seen before. He's too much. He's elite. Whatever you think a running back can do and will do, he is that. Yep,
he is spectacular. And before I get to you, Erik, I just want to comment on something you said, Tyrone, about Lamar Jackson. And he's doing everything better up to this point than he did last year. And last year he won the MVP. So doing everything more in the sense that he has 235 more passing yards, 5 more touchdowns, and 1 less interception, higher passing rating, and 19 more rushing yards per game than what he had up to this point last year. So, yes, playing at a higher level so far. Erik, are you going to say Baltimore too?
Oh, yeah, 100%. There's literally no. Yeah. There's no comp, I don't think, as of right now. I saw this tweet today that was saying the Chiefs got lucky that the Ravens hadn't gotten Derrick Henry figured out yet when they played them.
or even the Ravens just didn't know how to use him yet. I'm glad you brought that. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say Derrick Henry, he's found his groove in this offense. He's rushed the ball either 24 or 25 times in 3 of the past 4 games. Cincinnati was the one game he didn't rush for that many. He went over 130 yards in 3 of the last 4. Again, Cincinnati being the one. And he's found the end zone at least once in every game this season. He leads the league in carries, yards, and touchdowns. Yeah, it's insane. That's what I'm saying. The Ravens have found how to use him effectively. He's doing all this. I just listed it. Leads the league in carries. What else I say? Yards and touchdowns. Leads the league. And you have Lamar, who has 19 more rushing yards than last year up to this. Like, he could still do his game as well. Actually, he's being more efficient. There's less pressure on him.
Best backfield in NFL history, and one of them's a quarterback.
Yeah. No, for real.
Crazy.
For real. One of them's a quarterback. And we were making fun of this receiving core, I think, a couple podcast episodes ago, or just saying that we'd like to see a little more or see someone emerge from there. But here we go. Here comes Zay Flowers, finally emerging.
Zay Flowers is good. He is better than a lot more receivers than we think in the NFL.
I'd agree. Last 2 weeks, 21 targets, 16 catches, 243 yards. It just keeps piling up. And so he's starting to find his groove. So, yeah, and then we haven't even mentioned the defense. Always. The Ravens always have a scary defense, or a defense you should fear a little bit.
The Ravens.
Yep. So, all right. Seems like we got the same there. Anything else that you guys want to mention before we move on about the AFC or NFC teams? Last thing I will say that I didn't get to say about the Vikings and their defense is that they made Aaron Rodgers throw 3 picks. Daniel Jones, Rodgers, and C.J. Stroud all had a QBR under 70 when they faced the Vikings this season. That's the last thing I'll say about that. Anything you guys want to say about NFC, AFC?
A team I didn't mention, you kind of talked about him himself, C.J. Stroud in the Texans. I'm a big believer in them. They're not necessarily taking that explosive step that everybody wants them to take, but progression is not linear. But I'm seeing C.J. Stroud do some, maybe, I'm not going to say doing Mahomes-y things, but like the way that he controls the game, I just know if they're down by 3 and they get the ball with 4 minutes left, I'd be like, that's probably game the Texans got it. And that's
there's
right,
trust
that
in
right
him.
There puts you up there for me. And he's winning games. Joe Burrow has that quality, Josh Allen has that quality, but C.J. Stroud is doing it, and he has more wins than those guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a little more bold this year, obviously, too. Feels a little more comfortable, knows his limitations, stuff like that. So that's fun to see, and I think that does help them in some of these games. Erik, anything you want to say?
The Ravens are the best. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's hard to argue that right now. Let's go top 5 quarterbacks. I'll give my top – let's do top 3 first, and then we'll go from there. I'll give my top 3 right now, so far. Top quarterbacks so far this season. I have number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Number 2, Joe Burrow.
How?
Number 3, Jaden Daniels. That is my top 3 quarterbacks so far this season. I'll get to 4 and 5 in a second, but let's do top 3. Tyrone, let's just keep going in the order we've been going on this whole episode. Tyrone, let's hear your top 3.
Obviously, number 1, Lamar Jackson, one of the ones, future Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP.
Let's hear it.
Quarterback rusher of all time. Then I go number 2. It's very surprising. I'm going to put number 2 on Pat. You could probably never drop
Okay,
below
that's fair.
I'll give
it's
him
funny
that
you say
credit.
that.
I'll never believe number 2. Below number 2.
Wow. No, I respect that, but go on.
He's undefeated. I'll put that on
I respect it. I respect it. Go on.
Then number 3, I'm going to go C.J. Stroud. I think the Texans have 1 loss. He's kind of not taking an explosive step, like I said, but he just wins his games. And he puts up decent stats, and he's the leader of his team.
All right. Erik, let's talk this one out a little bit here with his. I respect Patrick Mahomes, maybe in the top 5. Probably wouldn't put him at number 2. I understand undefeated. I understand he has made crucial plays when crucial plays needed to be made this year. He's not number 2 right now. But I understand your reasoning of just he is undefeated.
As soon as I say he's not in the top 5 or top 3, that's I promise you, the next game he's gonna have 7 touchdowns, and then I've been there, Calvin. I've been through this. Yep. My relationship with Patrick Mahomes is it's so crazy.
I fought with myself if I should add in my top 5 because I had the same thought. How can I leave him out of the top 5? But I just think some of these players
he flips
are
this.
playing.
Don't ever say you're a fan, Calvin.
Yeah, and I'm like a big Patrick Mahomes defender here. I'm not saying that it's like people hate on him all the time. I'm just a big defender. Erik, anything you want to say about him having Mahomes at number 2?
I wouldn't think that Ty was going to say that.
I didn't either. Like I said, if anything, it's probably going to be me or you.
I mean, I can always respect that game respects game, but I mean that just shows Ty knows ball. That's all.
Right. And then CJ. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's just independently based on the season, he is not number 2, but I see what Ty's basing it off of.
Yep, I do too. That's what I'm saying. I understand it's hard to just everything that this guy has done, especially in postseason. It's hard to leave him off, but yeah, if we're going right now, I don't know there, but I don't mind CJ Stroud at 3. All right, Ty, what was your? Is there any main reasonings for this top 3? Anything that we have to know why these are your top 3 besides what you just initially said?
3 quarterbacks, honestly, that I feel most comfortable with these quarterbacks. If they were the quarterback on my team going into week 7, I'd be like, bet, cool, we have a great chance of winning next week. Probably the best odds. Let's go. Out of all the other quarterbacks. That's why I'm like, I can't, if I leave Pat off of this, I'm just going to feel silly. Same with CJ Stroud and obviously with, Lamar.
Yeah, it's hard to leave any of those quarterbacks off the AFC or in the AFC. Erik, who do you have as your top 3 quarterbacks right now?
Obviously, Lamar's number 1.
All right, so we all agree there.
Yeah. I think I might put CJ Stroud at 2.
Okay, all right, he's going there too. All right,
and then I think I might put Bake May at 3.
I don't hate that. I might hate that it's 3rd, but I don't hate that being in a top 5. I don't hate that being in a top 5 at all.
He leads the league in passing touchdowns.
Yeah,
and he has the second best rating. So
now he did have a little turnover bug last game. I get that, but he looks good this year, and I mentioned that earlier that he's taken a step up. He feels a lot more comfortable there. I don't hate that.
I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. I don't know. I don't get the Baker Mayfield hate. He's a guy.
He's gotten a lot better. All right, Tyrone, let's break down his top 3. We all agree Lamar 1. You both have CJ Stroud at your top 2, so I'm sure you'd agree there. But like I said, he just said Baker Mayfield. I was pretty excited. He was pretty excited. You didn't seem as excited. What do you think about that?
I was thinking about this. I was debating if I was like, all right, who should I put in there? It's Baker or Darnold? I'm like, I would rather have Darnold over Baker right now. As the performance, I would say that Darnold's had a better year. He's putting up similar stats, and his team's undefeated. But I understand why you put Baker Mayfield in there. But I would prefer Darnold right now.
The thing with me is I think Darnold might regress a little, but I also think Baker is more turnover prone, which could cost a game down the line. I see what you're saying there.
Baker will make.
He is more of a. I feel like Baker would take more of a risk in what Darnold would, for better or for worse. There, I get that. Yeah. Anything you wanted to say about his CJ Stroud being number 2?
That's respectable. I thought about putting CJ number 2, but I mean it's just really hard for me to. I'm just trying to be humble to Pat. Yep. So when his downfall comes, I can really go crazy. So I'm trying to be humble right now. So
you can pull up this clip and then be like, "See, I was supporting him earlier on. Told y'all." But no, I get that. All right, here. So my top 3, and I'll let you guys discuss it. As I said, Lamar 1, Joe Burrow number 2. Now I get it. We like to, when we talk about quarterbacks, bring up, do they win? Are they winners? Joe Burrow's a winner, maybe just not this year. I get it. They're sitting at 2-4. They did get a crucial win, though. They had to win. They had to. They legit had to win that game, and they won. So he had pressure. He gets it. Their defense gives up an average of more than 25 points a game. He has to throw. He has to be that guy. And despite that, he's only thrown 2 picks this year and 12 touchdowns. He's electric. He's lighting it up. I get the record, but his defense is giving up 25 points. He ranks 2nd in QBR and ranks top 10 in every major category their offense does, besides yards a game. So,
I mean, all what you're saying is really true, Calvin. All that is true. But, I guess my mindset is kind of even though, hey, you played a game like 2K or Madden, it's well, your player went crazy and he had 50 points. but you didn't get the player of the game because your team didn't win. The dude that won the game, he has to get the player of the game.
He's still ball. I get that, but he's still ball. His defense is.
He is one.
That's what I'm saying, though.
100%.
If his defense was a little better, I get it. You could do this about any sport, any team, but they honestly are better than 2 and 4. That defense it's horrible. That defense was just a tad better. I say this with the Hawks a lot with their offense. If someone was just a tad better, the other side of the ball was just a tad better, we'd have a whole different view of the Bengals and Joe Burrow.
This is also something I was going to say about the Texans if I talked about them a little bit longer. I think equality to be one of those higher tier quarterbacks is like, regardless of what's going on around you, like, adversity, this player's hurt, this player hurts, your defense sucks, this hurts, you should probably be able to still get them dubs if you're a top tier quarterback. Like,
I guess.
To be honest, Patrick Mahomes, it don't matter. It don't matter. He has a great chance. Lamar Jackson, throughout his career, he ain't had good receivers. Josh Allen this year just played a game against the Jets. James Cook is hurt. His receiving core is buns. Defense is mid. He's getting dubs. Like, you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way. You gotta find a way.
Just with the defense that gives up over 25 points a game, you don't hear that too often here. And then, like I said, third I have Jaden Daniels. He's a rookie, and he doesn't look. With my own eyes, it seems like the Commanders have really let him have a longer leashes than I would say we see most rookie quarterbacks get. Honestly, they let him
has like the coach suggestions, like this is 3 plays you have to run.
And I would say a lot of rookies do when they come in, but Daniels, it seems like they just let him go, and that seems to be helping. Yeah, they trust him, and that has gone a long way. So that's my top 3. I know we just sat there and talked a lot about the Joe Burrow, but Erik, Ty, is there anything you want to say about that top 3? Lamar, Burrow, and Daniels.
I get the Lamar and Daniels comparisons, but let's relax. Let's relax on those.
Yeah.
Relax on those.
Done with the Jaden Daniels.
I get it. But it's levels. For real, it's levels. I'm not. It's real levels. I'm messing with Daniels, but I heard a lot of people talking crazy before the game, like Daniels is finna go clean up Lamar. So that obviously happened. I got love for him, but let's just relax on that.
That's fair. He has gotten a lot of love, and I think it is deserved. But yeah, to be comparing him to Lamar Jackson is not quite there yet. But I guess
it's a bit early.
Yeah, but to say I guess there's some similar resemblance. Let them be their own. Let them each be their own. All right. I know we've talked a lot on this subject. I know we got stuff to do, so I'll give my last 2. You guys can give your last 2 to round up your top 5, and if we want to talk about it, we can. If we want to move on, we can. My last 2, so my total top 5 is Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Brock Purdy, and Josh Allen would be my top 5 right now. Todd?
Okay, me next. I guess I kind of cheating because I put 6 down because there was really a tie.
That's fine.
5th spot.
Let's hear it.
Lamar, Pat, CJ. Then I'm gonna go Daniels, Allen, and then Sam Darnold.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you got 2 of the quarterbacks up there that are 2 of them are the only undefeated teams. So
they got to be up there.
They got to be up there. What about you, Erik? Who's your last 2 that you have? Or would you add anyone other than your top 3 that you want to talk about?
Yeah. I think Jaden Daniels being a rookie has a lot of pull for him to be in the top 5 for how well he's doing as a rookie.
I agree.
His defense is also really bad.
Yeah. And besides Scary Terry, who's he throwing? Who else does he have?
Yeah, exactly. But I'd probably put him I think I'll put him at 4 and then probably Darnold at 5.
I don't. Not bad.
You got to have Darnold at least top 6. He hasn't lost a game yet.
Hasn't lost a game
against worthy opponents for most
against worthy opponents too. Exactly, against some worthy defenses too. Not even just a good overall team, good defenses as well.
His defenses also have good too. So.
Yep. So there we go. All right, there's our top 5. Let's move on. We got 3 more subjects. We'll run through them really quickly. Best receiver and quarterback duo, or maybe you can go most electric receiver and quarterback duo. Let's just keep going how we've been doing all night. I'll go first. I'm going to go maybe the more electric route. This is still, I think, a really good duo. Maybe not the best in the league, but the most electric in my eyes, or the most promising even maybe, is Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry. That they are so fun to watch. He will go because out of all of the Commanders, and I just said it, like who do the Commanders have? He leads in reception. So you could say maybe Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud. That's fine. But also there's 2 other Texans that are right up there and very high targets. So C.J. Stroud just loves to pass it. Here, Daniels is going to Scary Terry and mostly just Scary Terry, and he's always coming up with it. He's hitting them on third downs. He leads the team in targets, has a high IQ. He's increased his touchdown production, doubled his third down catches from last year. Just, it's very exciting. It's awesome to know that Daniels has someone he can trust, and then that player is also someone that can come down with the ball in big-time situations and is making Daniels look really good. Not that Daniels can't make himself look good anyways, but that's a huge help there. So that was my favorite, maybe most electric. Tyrone, who do you have? Best, favorite, most electric? Let's hear it. Wide receiver, quarterback duo right now.
I put 5 on there, and that was the one I was going to put at 5 instead because the way I made my list was a little bit weird. Number 1, I did put Burrow and Chase, but I changed it, and I actually put Justin Jefferson and whatever active quarterback is taking snaps.
I'll allow that.
Whoever is throwing the ball to him, that's the best connection. He's gonna good for a touchdown, 100 yards every game. He's good for it.
Yeah, no, I'll accept that answer. That is,
he's like that.
Yeah, it could be Sam Darnold. It could be anyone. You're right. He is fun to watch, but so you said you had 5 that you were kind of debating on, and one of them was Scary Terry and Jaden Daniels. Okay, interesting. Erik, anything you want to say about either of our picks, or do you just want to go ahead and tell yours?
I'm a big. Me and Brian are both big Scary Terry, fans, and he just hasn't had that guy. And now it's more of like Terry McLaurin, just having someone that can actually throw the ball to like hands. It's great to watch. So I agree.
For real,
I agree with what you're saying. I like having Terry McLaurin having a connection with a guy that's just solid. I just love seeing that.
So nice, and like finally gets to show his true potential, and it's really a hand-in-hand relationship with those two, because like you said, not only is Daniels helping him out, but he's helping Daniels out. It's perfect. It's a match made in heaven. Like I said, there might be more targets with receivers and quarterbacks. There might be more receptions between them, maybe more yards and touchdowns. But right now, I got to go that one. But I understand where Ty's coming from. Yeah, you might be able to throw Tyrone back there, and he can still go crazy. So, all right, here we go. Best defense. I get it. You can look at the stats, and this team wouldn't be at the top there. But in my eyes, because of the bend, don't break mentality, and because this might shock you about what I'm about to say here, because you might be thinking one way, and because they're undefeated. Oh, he's going Minnesota, right? I'm going Chiefs. The Chiefs have the best defense in the NFL right now. That their ability to give a little and then completely shut it down when it needs to be shut down. They lose Snead. They have a little, who's going to be that corner. They're still getting it fixed, but they're undefeated. That linebacker unit's good. It's just a good defense. Like I said, it's mostly the fact that, yes, they can bend, but they're not going to break.
Yeah.
Tyrone?
I'm 1,000% agree with that, Calvin. Actually, I made my list for top 5 defenses, and I put KC number 1, and I wrote next to it. I said they're carrying the load they're the best unit on the undefeated team, and they're just like if I had to break down the Chiefs squad, the defense would be their friend that don't say nothing, but everybody knows he can fight, so you don't really mess with the defense. That dude is fighting. He's crazy. Everybody focuses on all the other stuff.
He's got a little sneaky strength. All right, Tom. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that you went Chiefs. Not the fact that I don't think the Chiefs are a well-known good defense or anything. I'm just kind of surprised. Erik, I'll let you go, and then I'll maybe say my honorable mention real quick. But go ahead. Who do you have as your best defense? Because you might say him.
I think just scheme-wise.
Yeah. Okay.
If PS2 is healthy, the way that they utilize him and Riley Moss with blitzing,
that's what I thought my best defense was. I was just giving Erik carry the shuttle. You saying crazy.
I know, Ty, you're going to like this, but I saw this thing on Twitter, and it just broke down how the Broncos are playing defense right now. And when they have if you have 2 shutdown corners, blitzing is so it's just so easy. And I was like, that's – but then PS2 got hurt, and then they got stomped on. So.
But still, no. Hey, there you go. You have
Hey, come on.
Let's say for our audio only listeners, Ty went and got his jersey.
He's the new threads too.
Oh well, yeah, no, that's a nice jersey. That's really nice. All right, but yeah, that's fair. I see where you're coming there with the Broncos too. The Broncos always got a good defense.
Their defense is elite. It's elite.
Yeah, and I could always trust in that defense.
Last week 5, I think they let up 70 points against the Dolphins. They've only given up that in like the entire season so far outside the Chargers game. Man, like Erik was saying, I mean, that last game, they kind of got blasted, but everybody was they got depressed once PS2 got a concussion. For real, he's the leader of the team. He went out, everybody got sad. But when he plays, like, I'm not exaggerating, half of the field is shut down. You would be a silly man. I'm talking about really silly to throw it to PS2. Like,
and then let Moss get a little.
You do it to him. 100-yard interception to the crib. Oh, my God. To the crib. 100 yards.
That is nasty. Yeah, get Moss a little more time.
I think he might win Defensive Player of the Year, to be honest. He has a really good chance.
If Hutchinson is out for the year, I think there's a
he is. He has.
He's not gonna. PS2's not gonna play Thursday though because he has a concussion and it's not 7 days. So
yeah, well,
I don't know.
He'll get on the field before Hutchinson for sure. But yeah,
last thing about the Broncos defense.
Our
offense is. I'm not gonna say it's like fake or pretend, but like they don't play good for so long periods. It's crazy. The Broncos offense had like 70 yards into the fourth quarter last game. 70 yards.
Yeah.
Like their defense is just playing. They're just playing the whole time because the offense is just run, pass, punt. For like so long periods.
Welcome to my world. All right. Teams, last subject here. We're making good pace. We'll wrap it up with this right here. Teams to be scared of or maybe potential sleepers. I have 3 here. Because I haven't given them any love yet, let me give it now. Kansas City Chiefs. I know they're banged up. I know people are questioning how like Hollywood Brown would fit if he could come back, like just throwing him back in there. Would he be able to be fine? This and that. But you cannot count out this team, any of it, when they have Patrick Mahomes, any of it when they're back-to-back Super Bowl champions, any of it when they have Andy Reid as their head coach, any of it when they have Steve Spagnuolo as their defense. It's just, you can't count them out. Then I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We were talking, me and Erik earlier. We're showing Baker Mayfield some love. That's a dangerous team. I think they could get a win in the playoffs or 2 maybe even. So my last one here, kind of like what Ty did earlier with the whole, Justin Jefferson and anyone. Any NFC North team can be dangerous or a sleeper. Any of them. So that's my top 3 potential sleepers or just teams to be scared of down the road when maybe playoffs start to loom. Chiefs, Buccaneers, any NFC North team. Tyrone, who are your teams to be scared of or potential sleepers?
I'm kind of going to go with you on the same kind of like thing, my same kind of category. I'm going to go with teams with rookie quarterbacks. Every team with a rookie quarterback they have the Bears and the Broncos. They have a good enough defense to support the quarterback that is not doing well. And when he does play well, that means they're going to win. So when the quarterback doesn't play good, all he has to do is not turn the ball over, and the defense is maybe going to allow 16 points, and you guys have to kick a couple field goals, score a touchdown, and you win. And with the Commanders, they have a dude, so they're fine. So I would say there's a good chance that at least one of those 3 teams is definitely making the playoffs. Probably 2 out of those 3 teams might make the playoffs. Maybe in the alternate universe, all 3 of those teams make the playoffs.
All 3 of them. That'd be something.
It's not impossible. None of them have a losing record.
That would be something to see. All right. Anything else, or is that it? Just the rookie, any team with a rookie.
Just those rookie quarterbacks. Okay. There's so many. I would say I was thinking about a team that I would not want to play. I don't want to play the Cardinals at all. I don't know what Cardinals team I'm going to get. Do not want to play.
That's you never know. That's fair.
They could score 50 points or lose by 50 any game.
Yeah, depends on what Murray wants to do and how Marvin Harrison's feeling.
He's about to come out, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to step back away from that there. Erik, any potential sleepers that you're thinking of?
Oh yeah, I'm with you with the Bucks there. I think I might. No, never. I do like the Bucks a lot. If I was a Caleb Williams hater, but they also just played the Jags, and that was like his first decent game. But I did see this tweet that their 4 wins, the teams that they beat have a combined 4 wins. I think like their 4 wins.
Teams only suck when you beat them.
Well, they don't play them 6 times. How are they 1-5? Like that's not. But if Caleb Williams can emerge, their defense is, like Tyler was saying, their defense is good. That might be pretty scary. But
can all four teams from the NFC North make the playoffs? Is that possible?
Dude, it's just so crazy that literally Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers 5-0, 4-1, 4-2, 4-2.
They all made the playoffs. That would be crazy.
And they're all on winning streaks. Vikings have won 5 in a row. Lions have won 3 in a row. Bears have won 3 in a row. Packers have won 2 in a row. They just win. Crazy. Yeah, the top 4 teams in point differential are all from the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings plus 63. Detroit Lions plus 60. Chicago Bears plus 47. Green Bay Packers plus 41. Once again, that's the top 4 teams in point differential, and they're all from the NFC North.
Yes.
So, all right, that was episode 17, where we kind of just gave out some rankings, some grades, some favorites, this and that. It was fun. It was good to have you guys back. It was Tyrone, Thornton, Erik, Kellgren. You guys can follow our socials. We are on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything. Just type in For What It's Worth podcast. Go ahead, favorite, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you guys can. Erik, Tyrone, anything you guys want to say before I officially end it?
Thursday Night Football. Sean Payne's hopefully gets his revenge against the Saints. And get well PS2. And don't rush it back, man. Trust Riley Moss, the Iowa God. Hopefully he'll hold it down while you're gone. He got you.
Hopefully he will. Erik, anything you want to say?
No.
All right. Easy enough. Well, as I said, I'm Calvin Silvers. We had Tyrone, Thornton, Erik, Kellgren. And until next time, have a good one.